To have you join us today for another episode of Inside Alfred. Today, we're going inside the College of Business with Mark Zupan, with a couple members of our amazing faculty and some of our tremendous students. Before I turn it over to Mark, I'd like to first ask if you have any questions, please post them in the chat room. This will be a moderated discussion. We want our guests to have a great conversation, and so I will moderate the questions for you. But with that, I'd like to welcome Mark Zupan, our president.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We're thrilled to be here in the College of Business in the ticker tape room, made possible by a philanthropic gift from one of our life trustees. We'll come back to that. But first, we'd like to have the panelists each introduce themselves, how long they've been with us at Alfred and what capacity, and hometown, and any favorite memory or aspect about Alfred University.
So I'm Mark Lewis, the Dean of the College of Business. I've been here since 2010. Started out as faculty and became the department chair and the dean. And what keeps me here is the chance to really help students.
I'm Tori Cramp. I'm the assistant dean for the College of Business, and I'm also a two-time alum of Alfred University. I graduated my undergrad in 2020 and my MBA in 2022. And what drew me to Alfred were the limitless opportunities and kind of the chance to spread myself in areas that I was unfamiliar with.
And hometown?
Oh, my hometown is Cornell, New York, so right down the road.
I'm Ayla Pryor. I'm a marketing student here at Alfred. I came here in 2022 and I'm expecting to graduate in 25. I'm from Cornell also. What drew me to Alfred was definitely the close-knit community and just everyone's worrying about you, everyone's caring for you and just there for you.
My name is Dominic Wilcox. I was a transfer student, so I've been here for about a year and a half now. I just got my bachelor's in marketing. My hometown was Cuba, New York, so not that far from Cornell. And I'm actually going to be going for my MBA while staying here and currently working as an admissions counselor as well.
And congratulations on receiving your bachelor's degree just this past Saturday.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start with Mark first and ask each of you some questions related to your roles in association with the College of Business. Mark, provide a little more texture of how you got about joining us in 2010. It's a wonderful story.
Okay. Yeah, so my hometown is Alman, just down the road. Grew up there. I spent 20 years in the Air Force, lived all around the world, had a great career. Got recruited out of the Air Force by the New York Stock Exchange. Worked there for 13 years. I was the senior vice president and responsible for all of the computer software that runs the exchange. I'm a local boy. New York City was like not my thing. So as soon as I could retire, I moved right back to Allegheny County. And I'd just been here, I guess, about 8 weeks and stopped in at the head of HR and just said, you know, if you need somebody to teach a class sometime, I'm in the area. I love teaching. I taught at Syracuse. I taught at Troy University. And I'm retired now, so I have a lot of time in my hands. And Mark Guinan, the head of HR, says to me, do you think you could teach introduction to management? And I said, I'm a retired Air Force colonel. I'm a retired senior vice president of the New York Stock Exchange. Yes, I can teach introduction to management. And he said, great. Can you start tomorrow? And I said, no, I can't start tomorrow. And he said, why not? And I said, well, I can't get ready in one day. It's not enough time. And Mark said to me, well, how much time do you need? And I said, 2 days. Give me 2 days, I'm ready. 1 day, not enough. He said, fine, you start in 2 days. So I started. And I've been here ever since.
And we had an unexpected retirement literally that morning. And so Mark Lewis showing up was incredibly fortuitous and progressed teaching, I think, one course initially.
I started with one course and then they said, we want you to teach full time. And then would you teach overload? And one thing led to another. So it's been a fun experience.
Head of the group, and then colleagues said you'd make a great dean, which you've done a wonderful job. It's the dean of the school.
Thank you.
200 undergrads, about 50 MBA students, 7 different majors. Each of the faculty too you've recruited with significant real world experience as a distinguished a distinguishing characteristic of the College of Business. And I think about 14 minors as well.
13 or 14, but it's always changing. But yes, we have a very robust set of opportunities for our students.
And ACSB accredited, which is the gold standard.
The gold standard for business schools in the world, less than 4% have that accreditation. When I took over, I checked, and we were the third smallest in the world to have it. And we've had it now for 40 years. So we've been accredited a long time. And I've visited other schools and they're really proud. I've had it for 10 years. I've had it for 15 years. We've had it for 40 years. It's a lot of work, but it's a testament to quality education and the passion that we have for doing a really, really good job for our students.
And from what I remember, a couple of years ago, we made the US News Top 100. And I think we were the youngest on that list and also one of the smallest, but just very focused on individual student success.
Yes, we got named in the top 100 MBA programs in North America. And we've never been on the list before. I was all shocked. It was wonderful. But
And
yes,
that would be Alfred, right? Because we were at the top of the list.
yes, we're at the top of the list. So, we'll take it. We'll take it.
And what are you proudest of in terms of the initiatives here at Alfred University or what you've been involved with in particular?
So to me, the things that I'm the proudest of are the people that we have, and it starts with the faculty. We're very particular about who's on the faculty. People have to be excellent teachers, passionate about their craft. And for most of our faculty, we have picked people who have significant experience. So there are several like me who could just as well be playing golf somewhere, do not need to work. Dr. Fred Farley retired after 40 years in the healthcare profession, CEO of a chain of hospitals. He's here because he wants to teach. I mean, we have a faculty have significant experience. So when students ask a question, we don't say, oh, let's open the book and see what the author says. I get asked a question about some decision. I'll say, great question. Let me tell you about when that came up in the boardroom of the New York Stock Exchange. Here were the arguments for one side. Here were the arguments for the other. Here was the decision. And after a year, here's how it played out. So we want to bring real experience to the classroom. So the faculty, I'm really, really proud of what they bring to the table. The most part of what we know is the students, to be able to to work with the students, to take them to conferences, to mentor them on research and projects, and to hear from students. I got a note a couple weeks ago of somebody who graduated 10 years ago, sent me a picture. His wife, who was also a fellow alum, their 3 children, and telling me about his career and where they are. And my personal favorite is, my happiest thing is taking students in January to Germany. So I used to live in Germany in the service. And so every year we go in January, we study the German auto industry. We visit Porsche, Mercedes-Benz, BMW. We spend 3 days at a German university with German students, Alfred and German students in teams, competing against all the other mixed teams, running an international business simulation. And I think we have a video that Mark comments. Let's roll the video. Let's roll the video.
Hello, my name is Dominic Wilcox. This experience has been awesome. We got to meet tons of alumni. I got to make a ton of connections as well, which was huge. I'm graduating this year, so with those connections, it's going to help land me a job that I've been looking at. Not to mention, we got to meet the Secretary of Homeland Security, and that was really cool. We got to eat food at his house and really just get to know him on a better level and just see that even outside of politics, people are people.
Just an amazing opportunity, and my favorite part was probably a networking event. It was really nice. It was extremely loud, but we got to talk to all the alumni, to trustees, like first-hand experience, to President Zupan as well. That's really nice.
I really liked Heidenheim because it was like a smaller city, and that was really fun to like go there because it's so different from Alfred. Like we're used to like it's a really small town, but there you could like walk 30 minutes. You could get to a castle, you could get to the grocery store, you could get to this really pretty church that was on a hill, and you could get to school. Like that was really cool to see. And also Munich was awesome because you could just like walk around and there's so much to see and do.
So the older museum, it was like you grew up learning about the old masters, and then like just standing in front of it is like surreal.
You're
It's
just
like, wow,
right there.
I'm looking at Leonardo right now, you know, it's like,
Yeah, or like Raphael.
it was crazy.
It's really cool, and it's that way with a lot of things here. Like you grow up learning about it in like history class, and it's crazy that people are just here looking at it.
A great opportunity. On that trip, I think last year, you got waylaid in Miami on the return. This was in January, snowy and cold here. And we thought we'd have a hard time retrieving it because you had to spend a day or two on the beach, right?
Yes, the airport in Charlotte was closed and we were diverted to Miami. The student broke their hearts. The students spent a day on Miami Beach, soaking up that sun instead of being back here at Alfred in the snow. I will say that their advisor was at the airport making arrangements to get them back to Alfred. But I missed the beach, but everybody said they had a wonderful time, so I trust them. The beach was really nice.
With New Orleans, they say Lagniappe, a little bit extra, but you did with that particular trip.
They definitely got some extra on that trip.
A lot of innovation under your leadership and often inspired by philanthropic support that you've helped to generate. We're in this ticker tape room that Jeff Moore, who's a class of '69 member, just received an honorary doctorate on Saturday. He and his wife Wendy made this possible, and you also managed and really grew the student managed investment fund. And I hear we're on the cusp of, well, we actually surpassed it and then fell behind by a couple $1,000, $1 million mark.
Yeah, we are, so we're very grateful for what our donors allow us to do. The ticker room, the finance program, the student managed investment fund is a live portfolio. The trustees started with $100,000. The students grew it. I remember when I started as the advisor, we were at about 160,000. They grew it to $500,000. We had a really nice party at $500,000. And today, about an hour and a half ago, they got within $3,500 of breaking the $1 million mark. And I promised them we're going to have a really big party when we break the $1 million mark. Other trustees have made academic programming possible. Kevin Livingston and his wife gave us some innovation funding, and we were looking at what are the job opportunities? What's going to be the growing area for our graduates for their futures? Analytics came up in our review, so we developed a business analytics, which is a business major with an analytics focus, and data analytics, which is not a business major, but just purely the analysis part. So that was a new major that we were able to bring in thanks to philanthropic support. And we planned that one. Another one fell in our lap last year. Casanova College announced they were closing. Casanova had a wonderful equestrian program, great equestrian team. They had a bachelor's degree in equine business management, had about 30 students there. Well, we always had a minor in equine business management, and we get like one student every 3 or 4 years. So I never thought anything more about it. And then Casanova's coach called our coach and said, we're shutting down. You've got a great equestrian program. I know you've got a minor in equine business. Is there any way you can do a major? So Coach Shank called me and said, can we do a major? And I said, well, we're going to research it. If it's a real opportunity for our students, we'll do it. And we did the research and we found out that a lot of schools that offer it as glorified horse training, and the graduates get like a 10% employment field. The minority offer it actually as the business aspects of the equine industry, and the employment is like 90% plus. So we told Coach Shank, we'll do equine business if it's going to be a business degree built on the business admin, AACSB accredited, and focused on the equine industry. And he said, that's the only way I'd want it. I wouldn't want it any other way. We said, great, we're in partners. And within 8 weeks, we developed the 2 new courses. We got the major approved internally, and we got it approved by New York State Ed. So we drew in a couple of students. We've got 3 deposits now for next fall. So far, we have a lot more accepts. That major is going to take off, and that one just fell in our lap. So we like that. We like the fall in our laps kind of things.
And then the capstone, the course, and what you and your team have done.
Yeah, so we have the MBA students work with a live business in the capstone. And before it was kind of sort of, you know, whatever business calls, and you know, we'll get a project and next semester it's somebody else. And it was a very good experience, but it wasn't as focused. So now what we're doing is prioritizing businesses that are in the region. We're trying to support local economic development, and we take business as clients and we run with them. One now, Sunny Cove Farm, we've had as a client for 3 years. So we're doing longer term relationships. We're also brought in, Dr. Shelley Fryan brought in the marketing program, a lot more hands-on work. And unlike a lot of business schools where it's case studies, you get the Harvard case. Well, when you go for an internship or a job interview, you're not, no, the company doesn't care that you've got an A in your case. But when you can say at your interview, I've worked with this company, I made these recommendations, here's the impact, you're in a much better position. So we really we've added a lot of live customer work, client work in marketing as well as the MBA. And it's been really successful. We've had graduates getting really good jobs, and they attribute that to the real practical experience that they've had in class. So we really feel good about that.
I believe we have a video in that regard, right, Aaron?
Hello, my name is Dominic Wilcox. This experience has been
Sorry, folks.
What I'd love to talk to you about today is our MBA capstone course. And one of the amazing things that we do with our MBA capstone course is associated with economic development in the local area, and other areas as well, but definitely New York State, and targeted that. And we've got a bunch of fantastic projects that were done this semester. One of the projects that we did was called Hey Alfred, and that was actually a podcast that brought together some podcasts that were already being done by students, some local music performers and student music performers, as well as little vignettes and stories, a little bit like Garrison Keillor meets Saturday Night Live, but written and produced by students. And that was one thing that we're hoping we can keep going for next year, but that's also available. And you can find it on the internet under Hey Alfred. The other thing that we really have going is working with local businesses such as the Old Mill Inn, one of the local bar and restaurants, as well as Sunny Cove Organic Farm, which is a 3rd generation organic farm that we've helped moved into significant profitability based on their raw milk sales when they were kind of the ailing American farm. Another thing that we're doing with those businesses is something we're calling Destination Alfred. And that's really looking at the amazing and wonderful things that are here in Alfred, right? Although it may not be kind of the cityscape and there may not be big things to do, there's a lot of people that are very happy here, a lot of wilderness to explore, a lot of cool things to go out and do and experience that not everybody always experiences. So looking at how do we make those more accessible? How do we make people know about them more? How do we promote the local businesses in doing that? And how do we work together as a wonderful ecosystem to just really improve the area and allow other people to see how fantastic this place is?
Local businesses is Honey Pot Chocolates.
Yes.
And we're nowadays handing out chocolate candy bars with the Alfred University insignia, and the team helped you track down the mold to create those chocolates. And for Saxon Signing Day this year, the admissions team also came up with a golden ticket idea. So all the students in attendance, the incoming students, one of them had a golden ticket that led to a free room for 4 years here at Alfred University. So thank you for making that possible. And most of all, Mark, thanks for 7 years of superb leadership of our College of Business. When you think about our 3 key strengths of mentorship, intersections, inclusivity, how you've epitomized them. You mentor all the incoming first-year students. Intersections, I was a business school dean myself, and we're notorious as a species for being the least cooperative administrators on campus, just very mindful of our turf and wanting to extract more resources from university administration. But you've created this dynamic with your fellow deans of just being very easy to partner with each of the other academic units. You've got something going with them. And then inclusivity, one of the favorite aspects for me in the College of Business is the event that the faculty staff, we put on a dinner right before finals and celebrate what the students have accomplished, will accomplish. I found out recently too that you're still involved with the Seventh-day Baptist, helping their endowment. And you have a part of the family called the Randolph family, but night and day difference from a few years ago with Foster Lake. And it was depicted on the video. It used to be padlocked, hard to get into. I think we've given out 560 passes this year, right as finals ended 2 weeks ago. It was great to see students kayaking there, swimming, fishing. And you personally donated a 4-person paddle boat, our SS Alfred. And we got a chance to take the spin into the purple canopy. So that was fun. Yeah, thank you for everything. You're welcome. So, and we're lucky that you're going to be staying on with us too.
You're not getting rid of me that easy.
So on to Tori, who's a 2-time graduate of ours, now an assistant dean. What have you valued most from Alfred University? And are there particular rooms that most come to mind that as being favorites here in the Olin College of Business or the College of Business Olin building?
So definitely, the main room that comes to mind is the studio, and it's a new addition on our first floor. So this was something that was not in existence before 2022. My very first summer I was working here, I kind of rediscovered the room. We were going through some storage and we found that this room in the basement had 2 focus grouping studios that were not being utilized, and it was all being used as storage. So I asked Mark Lewis if I could get some funding and patch the walls in the room, paint the rooms, get some new furniture put in and recreate the space so students could actually use it. He gave me the green light right away, and the whole summer for the first couple of weeks, I was patching walls and painting walls down in the basement, and the studio really came to life. So now we have a fully functioning focus group room, a fully functioning recording studio, and 2 lounge spaces in the basements for our students to utilize for any class projects, club experiences, or any extracurricular thing that they're looking for. So it's really come to life.
And it's great to see it get used, the places get used as much as they have been.
It's fantastic to see it get used. Sienna is one of our outstanding seniors that just graduated, and she'll actually be joining us in the MBA program. And she is one of the students who took the idea that I had for the space and brought it to life. Since I'm no longer a student, I could make the whole space and make it accessible for our students, but it's not really the space for me to use. It's the space that I designed for them to use. And she took that design and really just ramped it up and kept it running. And now all of the marketing students can become city certified, so they can run legitimate focus groups that they could sell to businesses and have a real business running focus groups at like a 5th or a 6th of the cost of a normal focus group. So it's really cost effective for the university and for the local businesses in the area. And it provides fantastic opportunities for our students, not just our marketing students, but all of our students in the College of Business and outside of the College of Business to utilize that makerspace.
And speaking of mentorship and intersections and inclusivity, champion diver, you're also an accomplished kickboxer on the side in terms of inclusivity too. Your family's been affiliated with Billy Shoes. You were a waitress there for over a decade, I think. And
Yes.
every Thanksgiving, the restaurant has provided free meals to any student that couldn't go home. And just how appreciated it's been. It's very much in the tradition of the Gertz family that used to do this for students that didn't have a place to go for Thanksgiving. And just the guidance you provided to up and coming students, deeply appreciated.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's definitely one of my favorite things to do, is to be able to give back to the community that helped give me so much to start myself. So I'm glad that I can continue to do this.
What aspect of the education do you think has served you the best?
I think the best aspect of the education are all of the connections and how invested everybody is in your education. So you can invest yourself in your education as much as you want, but your faculty members are invested twice as much as you are. And that's really kind of where everything goes above and beyond here at Alfred. They're always looking out for you. Now, they're not gonna grab you and force you to drink from the pond, but they're gonna give you every single opportunity that they could possibly give you to be successful. And they'll even present you with opportunities that you yourself wouldn't expect. That is something you could be successful at. Going to my MBA capstone project, I tried to shy away from the group that I was originally assigned by Jean Ellison, but she quickly responded back when I asked if I could switch groups to be put in the restaurant group, which I would be a little more comfortable with. She very fast responded no with a smiley face, and right below it, she said the best connections are made when you're put in uncomfortable situations. And I've definitely carried that with me since the MBA program, and I keep finding myself in slightly uncomfortable situations where I'm making fantastic connections for myself and for the students.
And it's interesting that we have a staff member in advancement, Robin Bajeka, who's about to finish her MBA. And Jean had the same. Robin tried to score him away from a particular assignment. And Jean said, you're actually going to learn more if you stay where you're assigned. And with athletic director, Deb Stewart, who likes to say there's no comfort in the growth zone and there's no growth in the comfort zone. So challenging people to grow. It's an important part of what we do.
Yeah, then they always challenge you, but they always have your best interest in mind. So they're never trying to stray you down a path that's not going to lead to success. They only want to find your path to success, because in the College of Business, they really do understand that the path to success looks very different for every single student that walks through our doors, and they're very good at finding that path for every student.
So we've got 2 Cornellians on the panel. We have at least, I think, 2 trustees that are Cornellians. So there's something in the water at Cornell that leads us to attract successful students and bring them into successful grads. What aspects of the education do you think will serve you the best, Ida?
So I definitely believe the opportunity for many research projects. Talking about focus groups, I was one of the students who was able to become city certified and run a focus group. And it's definitely a tricky thing, and there's a lot to it. So I'm glad that we had a space that we could have a focus group that was at a full potential. I really enjoy being able to dive into things that I'm interested in, and with my marketing professors, everybody's there to make my experience my own. It's not just a number in a classroom, it's personal connections, and I really believe that this is helping with my future success and developing personality.
We're not big into mass producing students.
Yeah.
Each person has their unique background and aspirations, and how do you help them best realize their purpose? And so we're delighted to have you here. And Dominic, congratulations again on graduating. What prompted the decision to transfer, and what were you looking for that attracted you to Alfred?
So I've transferred to a lot of different universities, to be honest. After my 2 years at JCC, I went to UP for a little bit of a semester. Quickly learned that I did not like being a number. And so to St. Bonaventure for a bit, and then I started looking to Alfred University. And so I went to St. Bonaventure for a year, and then came here, had to take a little bit of an extra semester to 2, but it was well worth it. As Michael Lewis was talking about, the faculty here is just, it's like they're outstanding, they're amazing, they go out of their way to help you. That was like one of the first things I learned here. Like even Professor Rodriguez, I had him for business law, never had him for anything else. And he would still, like, even without being in this class, he'd reach me to the side, you know, ask me questions, see how I'm doing, see if there's anything he can do to help me out. And honestly, you don't have that anywhere else. So it was the best decision I made.
What are you most looking forward to in the MBA portion of your studies?
It's cheesy, but I'm just like looking forward to still being able to see the faculty and staff that I've seen for so long. It's like I never believed that a college could be like a home, but like I don't know, Alfred University has really become like a home to me, and the people around it really become like less like faculty and staff and more like friends. So it's just a very welcoming and inclusive environment.
And you started on Monday with our admissions and
Yeah, I did,
management team.
Yeah,
Ready
that's
from a fire hose.
it's been awesome. A lot of information, but it's just been an amazing experience. I was really happy to have been able to given one of the positions. I know there's a lot of people trying to go over the position, but I'm excited to actually be able to get in, help upcoming students with their decision making, especially if I can help anybody, you know, choose the right path. I wish I would have been able to do that earlier, but yeah.
We had an amazing commencement speaker for your commencement. Oh, yeah. He's probably gonna win the Nobel Prize in the near future, and an
Yeah.
expert on social mobility. And talk to the role intersections and mentorship and inclusivity play in promoting social mobility. And the interesting thing, before the ceremony, what he and his colleagues are now doing, they have 40 colleges they're working with, where the college will share confidential admissions data. And then they'll be able to attract, they'll be able to track what aspects of the college education were most influential in creating social mobility. And so we're probably going to join the group in the near future. He was really taken with Alfred's atmosphere. He quickly noticed he was the only one wearing a tie. And he asked if it's okay to take off the tie, and we said, sure. And he said, they wouldn't want to do that at Harvard, like the raucous and just the grounded feel at Alfred University. But the key insight, wanted to test this out with the four of you. He said, what they're finding is the most beneficial aspect of college and building social capital is applied learning experiences. That when you're actually doing stuff like managing money or learning how to use a focus group, that catalyzes the greatest social mobility.
And that's the biggest difference it's been years, like compared to like other colleges, I've gotten so much hands-on experience here. Especially from the faculty and staff, like I've learned from asking questions, and every question I've asked, they've given me an answer. And it's not like an answer from a book, it's from experience, like you were saying. And like, that's the best kind of answer you can ask for. And then plus like all of my capstones, all of my classes, we were working hands-on with a real life company. And also being able to talk with the company itself, whether it be the CEO, the COO, or just the leading person. And you don't get that kind of experience anywhere. And it's great for your portfolio, it's great for your resume, and just great experience overall.
It's really fantastic. I've been able to bring projects in class to local businesses in Cornell and help out people that I've kind of watched start their own business and try to grow and help them understand the struggles that they might not be able to understand because they don't have a business background. So reinvesting back into the community that we come from has really been a huge thing coming from the marketing program. And then in the MBA program as well, I've started doing a lot of nonprofit work outside of the university, and we actually got to focus on the nonprofit group that I'm involved in. And they analyzed us and gave recommendations on how we can improve what we're doing to create a bigger impact for the community as well. So it was really awesome to see all of my MBA peers kind of tear apart what I was doing and give better recommendations.
We're down in Austin, Texas a few weeks ago, and one of the 2020 Marlon Miller Award winners is in the aeronautical engineering program down there, Andrew Adaloy from Nigeria. And it's the things that he shared, most of his classmates came from R1 schools, so big schools like UB. And he said it's been striking how many of them didn't get to do hands-on stuff or work with sophisticated equipment. That he had not only those opportunities, those hands-on, but faculty were intimately involved as opposed to grad students, and research being the dominant thing, teaching undergrads considered a chore. And that consistently comes up as a distinguishing feature, not just for our engineering program, but also for our other academic units, if that makes sense.
I think the beautiful thing about the College of Business is we don't have students teaching in classrooms. We don't even have our graduate assistants teaching. They help out the faculty members, they help keep them organized, help keep files sorted for them, but they're not physically in front of the classroom teaching. It's always your professor that's in there, that's involved with you. And that's super unique and super special, because when you're an undergrad, you're really looking for that care and you're looking for that connection. And it's a much deeper connection when it's that faculty member rather than their graduate assistant.
And I have with a lot of visitors, students and prospective students and parents, and some of them ask, why Alfred? Why should I consider Alfred? And I say, well, just about every college has a business degree or another, and the majors are pretty much the same, and the courses are pretty much the same, and the textbooks are all the same. So if you ask me what's different, it's the faculty. And what you get at Alfred, we're AACSB accredited, right? And AACSB doesn't have, here's a standard for Harvard, but here's a standard for little schools like Alfred. There are 9 standards, and we have to meet them. It's the same 9 standards. So in terms of the quality of our program, we are top rated in the world. But it's a small environment. You're taught 100% by faculty. And the faculty care about your success. They're invested in you. So that's what I tell parents. I'm not sure the students always get it. The moms and the dads, though, you see their eyes get big about, there is something special here. So that's what I tell families about. When you're thinking about colleges, this is something to think about.
We've got another video, I guess, Aaron, right?
We do, and it's one of the signature programs that happens in our College of Business, and it's aptly named Saxon Tank.
For sure.
Hi, I'm really excited to talk to you about the Saxon Tank today. Saxon Tank is what we have here on campus that allows students to compete and get coaching associated with ideas that they have for a business. We have a great class called Busy 106, which is an intro to contemporary business. And one of the things that every student that comes into the business school here does is start a business. So they have an opportunity to try out a business and do a business pilot. Some of them create something, some made lamps, some made coasters and burned them and drew them. Some ordered tote bags, some washed cars. We have lots of different ideas that people have for businesses. And so each of those businesses go ahead and put together a proposal for their business and are presenting it on a day where we have guest judges come in to give feedback. So it's a great learning opportunity for the students. It's a great learning opportunity for all of the campus to understand what we do here at the business school. And it's a wonderful opportunity to just get a little bit of extra coaching and a little bit of extra cash and work on one of those passion projects and maybe even get a little college credit for it while they're at it.
How did that come about? The Shark Tank.
That class came about 8 or 9 years ago. I did surveys of the freshmen, the seniors, and the MBA students, and the feedback from our first year students. We got a lot of feedback that there's not a lot of business courses in your second semester. In your sophomore year, you get a lot. So we talked about it as a faculty, and I said, let's create a course. And so I created this course, and I taught it the first time. And then, but I wanted them to have, even though they didn't have accounting yet in marketing, I wanted them to roll their sleeves up and start a business. And it's a pop-up business. I mean, it's just a small effort, but I wanted them to have that in their gut, the feeling of what it was like. And so, again, thanks to philanthropy, we were able to get money that could be prize money so that the students then can compete. We can't call it Shark Tank because that's, we get in legal trouble with that. So we have Saxon Tank. And it's not only open to our students taking that class, but any Alfred University student in any college in any major can pitch an idea, and they can get membership, they can get coaching, they can pitch, and they get cash prizes. So this was and we also did separately have a pitch competition for high school students so that they can pitch their ideas. They can come here, they get to see the campus, they get to meet the faculty, they get a small cash prize, and then a nice scholarship if they decide to matriculate. So we actually have the Shark Tank that we started with, one competition just for high school students, and we have another one that's Alfred University, Alfred State, and Hoover students. So we actually have 3 levels of business, the AHA competition. We have 3 levels of business competition, all that have cash prizes and all that have mentoring associated with it.
And first years are involved too, right? Or have the opportunity to.
Absolutely. The Shark Tank was mostly first year students, and the course is designed to prepare them to compete. So they have to do pitches in class that aren't in front of judges and they aren't for cash, but then they do the Shark Tank pitch, and that's designed to prepare them for AHA. So we're preparing even our first year students to go into 2 separate pitch competitions in their very first year of college.
And among the things you've produced, fire pits, or the teams have produced fire pits with the Alfred University and Insignia.
Yeah.
That are available for purchase.
Yeah, and that was intersection with in School of Engineering and using their water jet cutter. So we have a beautiful big fire pit up at Foster Lake, and then we have some smaller fire pits that were made last year. So they have very interesting ideas and very interesting projects.
We had,
Operators are standing by for those one.
we had lacrosse boys last year upcycle lacrosse sticks and turn them into bottle openers. We've had tons of students with some really creative ideas come from Busy 106, and some of them have even, last year we had a pop-up bakery, and it actually turned into the Alfred University Baking Club. Rightfully called Flour Power, but flour like baking flour. And it's been really cool to see our students kind of invest themselves in that. And then the high school competition, we designed that when I was still in the MBA program, and I helped design that as an MBA student. And we focus on the UN sustainability goals. So we select 5 of the UN sustainability goals to give as guidelines for those high school students. And it has really helped them. I speak a lot with my high school faculty members from the business program in Cornell, and they say it's really taken their business program for their high schoolers and just ramped it up a ton, because they didn't know that this is what colleges were doing, we're looking for, we're providing for their students. So it's been able to help increase the business community outside of just Alfred University as well.
And this year there were cornhole
Yes,
bags
cornhole
with
bags
Alfred
too.
University in Signal.
Hand painted by those students, each individually painted by those students.
I have 2 office colleagues who were pretty afraid because with this big ceramics pot and got to practice. Didn't knock over the pot, but I missed it. So I got to practice. There's actually schools nowadays giving scholarships to cornhole
I've seen
players.
that, I've
So
seen
they
that
will
now.
have a cornhole to be 3 feet down the road. So I guess any closing comments from our students' recent grads?
I'm excited to see where things go. Still got more time left, so.
I'm definitely thankful for Alfred and all the opportunities it's bringing me, and I'm not even done yet, so I'm excited for the future.
Just one idea, I'm an aspiring entrepreneur, so this one I haven't quite figured out yet. I've often wondered when you see pop-up lawn sprinklers. The golf courses or highway medians could actually have a fishing line that would come up and would mow the lawn as opposed to having people cry. The only thing I haven't figured out is how to prevent injuries to. So if you can figure that out, let me know.
So I've been monitoring the chat, and apparently you've answered everyone's questions so fully, but I do have one question, not only for our students, but I would actually pose this to Tori and Mark Lewis as well. One of our tenets here at Alfred is mentorship. Can you talk a little bit about the mentors that have helped you along your way at Alfred?
I love to say that Mark is my biggest mentor. Not only did he provide me with my very first job after graduating from the MBA program, but he's also been with me since I started in 2016. He was one of my very first faculty members on my very first day of college, and I remembered him ever since then. Funny story though, he definitely started calling me Vicky when I first started as a student, and 18-year-old me was too scared to correct him. So that lived throughout my MBA program until Gene Ellison corrected him, but I never took any offense to it. I thought it was the funniest thing in the world, and he switched to Tori as soon as I started working here, and everything's been Tori ever since.
As soon as I knew it was Tori, but you never said a word, so.
No, I was never going to say a word. Freshman me was quite terrified, and then by the point where I wasn't terrified anymore, I just enjoyed it. But no, Dean Lewis has definitely been a very big mentor and has helped me see the potential in starting in the recruiting and retention position with the College of Business, and increasing our internship opportunities and placements for our students, and then increasing my potential to be a mentor for our students because I'm now an alumni, and then kind of nudging me into the assistant dean position. At first, I did not expect to be able to do that as soon as I graduated from the MBA program, but he really reassured me that all of the skills and everything I learned in the undergrad and MBA would carry me through this position, and he was 100% right. I've loved every moment of it.
And you've been mentoring not just business students, but also divers too.
Yes,
right?
also divers. Actually, one of my divers entered in the Saxon tank competition and got tied for first place.
Wow.
And he is not a business student at all. And he's very thankful. He did come in for some mentoring before the competition, and we helped him understand the business terms and work through everything. But his idea itself was fantastic. I just had to help him understand how to put it into a business pitch.
And I don't know if it was you, but we have a new student from Ukraine this year who had never been a diver before,
Yes.
and you got him to jump, right?
Yes, Oleg, he's fantastic. He is absolutely wonderful. Was not a diver, kind of swam a little bit in high school, wasn't really expecting to dive. We said, come on over, try it out. He had a little bit of gymnastics background, and he is picked it up and it just started really excelling, and I'm really looking forward to what he's gonna do next year for us.
It's one of his favorite aspects of Alfred University.
He's one of my favorite. I loved watching him in his play this fall too. We all went as a team together to support him. It was just really fantastic.
Well, I think with that, we are all set. As we say, that's a wrap. We're thankful for all of you for being here today, and thank you for coming inside the College of Business with us. It's obvious that amazing things are happening. Please let us know if you have any questions, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
And if anybody hasn't signed up yet, we have a reunion coming up in early June. And one of the aspects that we'll be focusing on is mentorship. And among individuals that'll be there, Gary Horowitz, who, and among other legendary mentors here at Alfred University.
June 6th to the 9th. Let me know if you'd like to come. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. Take care.